Okay, welcome. Today we're going to talk about tempering. In cooking, tempering is the process of combining two ingredients with very different temperatures. So the two ingredients are slowly combined so they both gradually rise to the same temperature. So you would commonly use this process when you're making a sauce or a custard to avoid curdling or seizing or lumping. But tempering is also used when working with chocolate, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So it's a completely different process than the one used in cooking. Tempering chocolate involves heating and cooling the chocolate to stabilize it for making things like truffles, peanut butter cups, chocolate bark, or anything dipped in chocolate. Yum. So tempering the chocolate will give it that smooth, shiny, and hard texture, even when the items are at room temperature. Okay, so here I have the supplies I'll be using to temper my chocolate. So first off is the chocolate. You want to buy the best chocolate that you can. And yeah, it's not super cheap, but yeah, you want something that actually has cocoa butter in it and not too many other additives. So you may have seen things like this, milk chocolate flavored melting wafers. This is actually not real chocolate. It doesn't have any cocoa butter in it. It's been replaced with hydrogenized palm oil, I believe. So yeah, you don't want to use something like that just because it doesn't taste as good. Second thing, we're going to need a thermometer and we're going to need a double boiler. So we're just going to have a pot with some water in it and another one sitting on top. Here we have 250 grams of our chocolate bar finely chopped up, and we are going to add 2/3 of this to the top of our double boiler. My chocolate in the top of this double boiler here, and it is starting to melt already. So you want to have not quite boiling water, just hot water. Keep an eye on that. And we will be melting the chocolate to a temperature of about 110 degrees. So with milk chocolate, the temperature is a little lower. If it was dark chocolate, it could be up to 115 degrees. White chocolate and milk chocolate, temperature is a little lower. It's about 110 degrees. So we're just going to be stirring this around, waiting for it to melt. So when you're tempering chocolate, there are basically only two rules. Rule number one, do not bring the chocolate above 120 degrees. That will ruin the flavor of the chocolate. And the second rule is do not let any water come into contact with your chocolate. So not from steam, not a drop of water. So you have to make sure all your equipment is totally dry. If water gets into the chocolate, it could cause it to seize up. Okay, this is melting nicely. Okay, got it on Fahrenheit now. So we're at 109. Yeah, that's 110, so I'm going to take it off. The second step is you remove the chocolate from the heat, and now I'm going to seed the chocolate by adding in the remaining unmelted chocolate, and we want to bring the temperature down to 84 degrees. Okay, so this can actually take a while. Okay, so this probably took, like about 10 minutes. So I'm trying to get the chocolate down to 84 degrees. Where are we at now? Oh dear. Okay, so I've got the chocolate. It was at 84, 83, okay, 82. So yeah, we've cooled the chocolate down. Now we're just going to put it back on the double boiler for about 5 seconds to bring the temperature back up to about 89 degrees, and that's the working temperature of chocolate. Okay, so we melt it at 110, we take it off the heat, seed it with the remaining chocolate, bring the temperature down to 84, put it back on the double boiler for like 5 seconds to bring it back up to 89. Okay, so what is the science behind tempering? So cocoa butter is the fat in the cacao bean that gives chocolate its unique mouthfeel and its delicious taste. So cocoa butter can crystallize into 6 different forms, okay? But only one form gives chocolate that glossy, shiny, smooth finish that we want. The other forms of the crystals give it a dull finish, that whitish, grainy texture. Okay, so the tempering process is what produces these crystals that we want, the form 5 crystals. So we have to melt the chocolate to the correct temperature, which is about 110 degrees for milk chocolate. Then we have to seed the chocolate and bring the temperature down to 84 degrees while constantly stirring it the whole time. And then we briefly reheat it back up to around 89 degrees, which is the working temperature of chocolate. And then that should give you the chocolate with the nice shiny, snappy texture. Okay, so here I have some of the chocolate that I dipped. I also, I didn't have any strawberries, so I just dipped this piece of licorice. It turned out pretty good. To be honest, it shouldn't leave a fingerprint when you touch it, and this one is still, so this is not perfect. I think part of the problem is it's hard to do a small amount of chocolate. It's really hard to control the temperature. So the larger amount of chocolate you can have, the better. So it would be difficult for students to do in small groups. Yeah, it's just really hard to control the temperature. And you can also do this in the microwave. You don't have to do it in the double boiler. If you microwave it, do it on 50% power and stir it after every like 30 seconds, and then the same process where you seed it and bring the temperature back down. Yeah, that's it.